Violent swirls of storms pictured from space. Britain is in the top right corner. You can sometimes make it out through the clouds. These satellite images gathered over the past fortnight show a conveyor belt of weather systems. So what's behind this barrage of bad weather? Bizarrely, the story begins in Southeast Asia, with dark clouds over Indonesia. Heavy rain and massive flooding were part of an unusual weather pattern that sent ripples through the atmosphere halfway round the world. The best explanation from the Met Office is that there's been a kind of weather chain reaction. That heavy rainfall in Indonesia disrupted the jet stream which races over the Pacific Ocean. In turn, this bend in the jet stream far in the north diverted it over North America. This helped to create the conditions for the so-called polar vortex. That led to extreme cold, producing extraordinary scenes like these in many parts of the United States. And it's thought that what happened there had an influence ultimately on us. That's because the pattern of the weather in America affected the course of the Atlantic jet stream. It's been flowing unusually rapidly and driving storm after storm our way.
The British don't control their own weather, and it's part of the whole global system. And we sit at the end of the Atlantic storm track. And so we might be aware that these storms tend to come from the west over the Atlantic, but they don't just start there. The whole thing is part of this global system.
So what about a possible influence from us, from the greenhouse gases that belch out from chimneys? Could man-made climate change be making the weather more violent? Researchers say there are some signs that global warming may be involved. The waters of the Atlantic are warmer than they've been for 60 years. That heats the air and lets it hold more moisture. And the number of intense Atlantic storms has been rising over the past century. But working out a human influence is very difficult. Met Office scientists cannot give a definitive answer about climate change, but they ask about all the recent extremes.
Is this what we're going to be facing in the future? The indications are that our weather will become more variable, more volatile if you like, and therefore how we adapt to that is going to be very critical.
The Met Office itself was blasted by gales today. The question is whether global warming will make scenes like this more likely, something scientists are desperate to answer. David Shukman, BBC News.